Michael Taylor, an ordinary man living in an ordinary town. He was a butcher by trade, a husband and a father. Life wasn't perfect, but it was his. Then the darkness crept in. It started subtly, a change in demeanor, a flicker of unease in his eyes. Soon the shadows deepened, twisting his behavior, his words, his very essence.
The once jovial Michael was gone, replaced by a stranger inhabiting his own body. I watched in growing horror as the man I knew retreated further into a labyrinth of erratic behavior and disturbing delusions.
Michael Taylor was unraveling, his life becoming a chilling testament to the insidious power of the unknown. His story, forever etched in the annals of true crime, serves as a stark warning about the fine line between faith, madness, and the terrifying potential for both to converge. The air crackled with tension. The small church, usually a sanctuary of peace, became a battleground for one man's soul. It was October 5th, 1974. Inside, Michael Taylor thrashed and writhed, his body contorting under an unseen force. His eyes, wild and vacant, darted around the room, reflecting the turmoil raging within.
"Leave him be, foul demon," boomed a voice. It belonged to Father Peter Vincent, a priest known for his staunch faith and experience in battling spiritual entities.
Beside him, Reverend Arnold, a charismatic Pentecostal minister, added his voice to the escalating prayers. Hours crawled by, each one an eternity in the oppressive atmosphere. Michael's screams, laced with anguish and fury, reverberated through the hallowed halls, a terrifying symphony of despair. The witnesses, a mix of clergymen and terrified parishioners, watched, prayed, and wondered if dawn would ever break. Exhaustion hung heavy in the air. The exorcism, after a grueling all-night struggle, had finally concluded. Michael, drained and seemingly at peace, was helped to his feet. His eyes, though still bearing the traces of the ordeal, held a glimmer of their former self. Had they succeeded? Had the darkness been banished?
The relief, however, was short-lived. My initial calm was a facade, a fragile mask, concealing the shattered remnants of my sanity. The exorcism, instead of casting out the demons, had seemingly unleashed something far more sinister.
His behavior became increasingly erratic, marked by paranoia, hallucinations, and violent outbursts. He spoke of devils lurking in the shadows, of voices whispering blasphemous commands. The man who had once been a loving husband and father was lost, adrift in a sea of madness, his mind a terrifying tapestry woven from the threads of delusion and despair. The days that followed were a blur of fear and uncertainty for Christine. The man she loved was gone, replaced by a stranger who terrified her. Michael's behavior became increasingly unpredictable, his words laced with a chilling violence that sent shivers down her spine. He saw demons everywhere, lurking in the shadows, whispering threats only he could hear.
One fateful night, the simmering tension boiled over. The details remained shrouded in the fog of Michael's fractured mind, a chilling testament to the destructive power of unchecked delusion. Driven by an unseen force, fueled by the whispers of imagined demons, Michael Taylor committed a horrific act. He attacked me, his hands, those familiar instruments of his trade, transformed into weapons of unimaginable brutality.
Christine, the woman who had stood by him, who had prayed for his deliverance, became a victim of the very evil they had sought to expel. Section 5, Justice or Mercy. The trial and verdict. The courtroom was filled to capacity, the air thick with anticipation. The case of Michael Taylor had gripped the nation, a chilling tale of faith, madness, and murder. The prosecution painted a picture of a man driven by a darkness he couldn't control, his actions a product of a mind warped beyond recognition. The defense countered with a narrative of demonic influence, arguing that Michael, a devout Christian, was a victim, not a perpetrator. They pointed to the exorcism, the dramatic change in his behavior, as evidence of an external force at play. The jury, faced with the daunting task of deciphering the line between madness and malevolence, deliberated for days. In the end, they reached a verdict, not guilty by reason of insanity. Michael Taylor, the man who had murdered his wife, was deemed not responsible for his actions. He was, the court declared, driven by forces beyond human comprehension. Section 6, the line between faith and delusion, exorcism and mental health. The Taylor case sparked a firestorm of debate, forcing the world to confront an unsettling question. Where does faith end and delusion begin? Exorcism, a ritual steeped in centuries-old beliefs, suddenly found itself under the harsh scrutiny of modern psychology and psychiatry. Mental health professionals argued that what many perceived as demonic possession was often a manifestation of untreated mental illness. They pointed to conditions like schizophrenia, psychosis, and dissociative identity disorder, all capable of producing symptoms easily mistaken for demonic influence. The Taylor case, they argued, was a tragic example of a man failed by a system ill-equipped to recognize and treat the complexities of the human mind. Section 7. The weight of belief examining the exorcist's role. The spotlight of scrutiny also fell upon the exorcists involved in Michael Taylor's case. Critics argued that their unwavering belief in demonic possession blinded them to the possibility of a more earthly explanation for his behavior.
Did their actions, many questioned, exacerbate his fragile mental state, pushing him further into the abyss of madness?
The exorcists, however, remained steadfast in their convictions. They argued that they were merely instruments of God, following the dictates of their faith. The battle, they insisted, was not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world. Section 8. The lingering shadow of doubt, demonic possession, or mental illness. The Michael Taylor case, despite the passage of time, remains a haunting enigma. It serves as a stark reminder of the complexities of the human mind and the enduring power of belief. Did Michael Taylor truly fall prey to demonic forces, his life a terrifying testament to the existence of evil beyond our comprehension, or was he a victim of his own mind, his actions a tragic consequence of untreated mental illness? The answer, like the shadows that haunted Michael Taylor's final days, remains elusive, a chilling reminder that some mysteries may never be fully unraveled. Section 9. Across the Atlantic, the Taylor case's impact on America. The ripples of the Michael Taylor case extended far beyond the shores of England, reaching the heart of America. The case reignited the debate about exorcism, its practices, and its potential consequences. Religious communities across the United States grappled with the implications, their faith tested against the backdrop of a seemingly inexplicable tragedy. The case fueled a surge in public interest in exorcism, with books, documentaries, and movies exploring the subject with renewed fervor. However, it also prompted a critical examination of the practice, with mental health professionals urging caution and emphasizing the importance of seeking professional help for those exhibiting signs of mental distress. Section 10. Lessons from the precipice, the need for compassion and care. The Michael Taylor case serves as a tragic reminder of the importance of compassion and understanding when dealing with issues of mental health. It underscores the need for open dialogue between religious institutions and mental health professionals, a collaboration aimed at ensuring the well-being of those struggling with their inner demons, both real and perceived. The case also highlights the importance of education, of dispelling the stigma surrounding mental illness. It compels us to recognize that mental health is just as critical as physical health, deserving of the same level of care, attention, and understanding. Section 11. A legacy of unanswered questions, the enduring mystery of Michael Taylor. The story of Michael Taylor is a chilling exploration of the darkest corners of the human psyche. It is a story that continues to fascinate and horrify, leaving us grappling with more questions than answers. Was he a victim of demonic possession? His life a tragic testament to the unseen forces that lurk at the edges of our reality? Or was he a man consumed by the labyrinthine corridors of his own mind? His actions a heartbreaking consequence of an illness that went unrecognized and untreated. The Michael Taylor case, a chilling blend of faith, madness, and murder, remains an unsolved puzzle, a stark reminder of the fragility of the human mind and the enduring power of the unknown.
The shadows, they never left me. They were always there, watching, waiting.
Michael Taylor's words echo through time, a haunting testament to a mystery that may never be fully understood.